When Bella, a gentle German shepherd, went into labor, her family expected a normal delivery. But after the fifth puppy, the vet suddenly froze, then screamed for help, because what came out next wasn't a puppy at all, and it left everyone in the room gasping in disbelief. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Bella was more than just a German shepherd. She was the heart of the family. With her calm, intelligent eyes and gentle nature, she had been a loyal companion since she was a pup herself. She had an unspoken bond with the children, following them from room to room, always ready to nudge them towards safety or curl up beside them during storms. Her owners, the Mitchells, adored her. They often joked that Bella understood more human words than most people they knew. She greeted every visitor politely, but her happiest moments were at home, lying at the feet of her family while they talked and laughed around the dinner table. When the Mitchells learned Bella was pregnant, joy swept through the household. The children counted down the days, marking their calendars with tiny paw prints. They helped set up a cozy corner with soft blankets, toys, and a low-walled box where Bella could give birth. Everything was ready. The room smelled faintly of fresh laundry and the promise of new life. On the night before her due date, Bella rested quietly, her belly shifting with the gentle kicks of unborn pups. None of them could have guessed that this litter would be anything but ordinary. The first signs came just after sunrise. Bella began pacing the living room, her nails clicking softly against the wooden floor. Every few minutes, she would pause to paw at the blankets in her birthing corner, circling as if trying to make everything perfect. Her breathing grew quicker, and she let out soft, low whines that made the Mitchells exchange excited, nervous glances. Mr. Mitchell called the vet to let him know labor had started. "We'll be right there," came the reassuring reply. While they waited, the children knelt beside Bella, stroking her head and whispering encouragement. She pressed her nose gently into their hands, her eyes calm yet focused, as though she understood that a long day lay ahead. When the first contraction hit, Bella lay down, her body tensing. The room fell silent except for her steady breathing and the ticking of the clock. Moments later, the first puppy arrived, tiny, wet, and squeaking. The vet smiled warmly as he dried the newborn and placed it near Bella's belly. She immediately began cleaning her pup, her instincts flawless. The family's excitement grew as they realized the miracle had begun. But none of them knew this was only the start of an unforgettable day. The second puppy arrived just minutes after the first, slightly bigger, with a darker coat and a strong, squeaky cry. Bella worked quickly, licking it clean before nudging it toward her side. The children gasped at the sight of two tiny bodies wriggling together, already searching for warmth and milk. The third puppy came with a bit more effort, but when it finally emerged, its markings were striking: golden brown paws and a black saddle along its back, just like Bella's. "This one looks just like her," Mrs. Mitchell whispered, smiling. Through misty eyes, Bella seemed to agree, pausing to nuzzle the newborn before tending to the others. By the time the fourth puppy arrived, the family had settled into a rhythm, one child helping to keep the pups warm, another carefully counting each tiny heartbeat as the vet guided them. The fourth was the smallest so far, but its determined squeal filled the room. The fifth puppy slipped into the world with little struggle. A perfect, healthy German shepherd pup with glossy fur that shimmered under the warm light. Bella relaxed, for the first time in hours, stretching out and letting all five nurse peacefully. The Mitchells exchanged relieved smiles, certain the delivery was complete. The room filled with soft sounds, tiny suckles, Bella's steady breaths, and the quiet hum of contentment. No one suspected that Bella's work wasn't done. Something entirely unexpected was still to come, and it would leave them all stunned. Just as the family began tidying up the blankets around Bella, her body tensed again. At first, they thought it was just afterbirth, a normal part of the process. But then Bella let out a deep, low groan, her muscles contracting harder than before. The vet's brow furrowed as he moved closer, his gloved hands ready. "This isn't normal," he murmured under his breath, his eyes narrowing in concentration. He gently examined Bella, feeling along her abdomen. "She's still in labor, but this feels different." His voice carried a strange mix of curiosity and concern. The Mitchells exchanged nervous glances, unsure what he meant. Bella's breathing quickened. The vet's expression shifted suddenly, calm professionalism, replaced by urgency. "I need assistance now," he called out sharply to his assistant, startling everyone in the room. The children froze, their hands gripping each other. Mrs. Mitchell instinctively stepped closer to Bella, whispering words of comfort as the dog shuddered through another contraction. The vet positioned himself carefully, eyes fixed on the birth canal. "Whatever's coming, it's not the same shape as the others," he said softly, almost to himself. The room's warmth seemed to fade, replaced by an electric tension. Something extraordinary was about to happen. Bella let out another strained groan, her body trembling. The vet's hands moved with practiced precision, guiding the mysterious shape through the final stages of delivery. The room had gone silent. No one dared to speak, afraid to break the fragile moment. Seconds stretched like minutes until finally, it emerged. But the vet didn't place it immediately on the blanket. He held it for a moment, blinking in disbelief. It was small, much smaller than the puppies, and its fur was shorter, softer. The tiny creature let out a faint, high-pitched mewl, not a bark. That sound alone made everyone freeze. "It's a kitten," the vet said, his voice laced with astonishment. He quickly wrapped the fragile newborn in a warm towel, checking its breathing. The Mitchells stared, stunned into silence. "How is that possible?" Mr. Mitchell finally managed to whisper. The vet glanced at Bella, who was already trying to reach the tiny newcomer with her nose. She gave a gentle lick, as if she knew it belonged to her just as much as the others. In that instant, confusion gave way to awe. Against all odds, Bella had just brought a kitten into the world. The room still buzzed with disbelief as the vet placed the kitten gently on a heated pad. "This is extremely rare," he began, his tone calm but edged with wonder. "I've seen cases of dogs nursing kittens, but delivering one? Almost unheard of." He glanced at Bella, who kept her eyes locked on the tiny, mewling bundle. He explained that the kitten may have been orphaned very early. Perhaps its mother died or abandoned it, and Bella, already pregnant, might have been exposed to it in a unique situation. In rare circumstances, hormonal and biological changes could cause a pregnant animal to foster another species' fetus, allowing it to develop alongside her own young. "It's almost like her body knew this little one needed her," he said softly. The children leaned in, their eyes wide. "So, Bella saved the kitten before it was even born?" one of them asked. The vet nodded slowly. "In a way, yes. Without her, it wouldn't be here." Bella shifted, whining softly until the kitten was placed beside her puppies. She immediately began licking it with the same tenderness she gave her own. In that moment, science faded into the background. This was pure, undeniable love. The kitten, barely larger than Bella's paw, nestled instinctively against her warm fur. At first, the puppies squirmed curiously, sniffing at the unfamiliar scent. But Bella's gentle nudge signaled that this newcomer was family. She wrapped her body protectively around all six, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm of comfort. The Mitchells watched in awe. The tiny kitten, so fragile moments ago, now kneaded its paws against Bella's side, searching for milk. To their amazement, Bella shifted just enough to guide it toward a spot, allowing it to nurse alongside her puppies. There was no hesitation, no difference in how she treated them. Only the same fierce, tender love. In that quiet moment, the room seemed to glow. It didn't matter that one was a kitten and the others were puppies. To Bella, they were all hers. If you were moved by this incredible story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay with us for more heartwarming and unbelievable stories.